Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing fine. So I had this cute image of a dog toy over here, and in Blender I am going to do it. So let me hide these lanes and it. So the dog is going to look like this. So to do it, we are going to add a cube, and then with basic modeling we are going to first model the shape of the dog, and then when we are done we are going to texture paint it to make these black spots. And after all of that is done, we are going to do the fur with the particle system over here. But because of this video being so long, for like 30 minutes, I am going to do a part 1 and part 2. Switch, I am going to do some modeling and texture paint in part 1, and I'm going to add the fur on part 2. So before we start the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. You can start by deleting the camera and the light, and then we are going to go to the add image reference. So after I'm done putting my image here, I am going to go here to the opacity and then change it to 0.1 like this. So like I am going to give it some opacity to not hurt my eye so much. And so we can select our cube and then hold Ctrl then press 2, then move this upwards and then scale it like this. So after we do that, I am going to apply here my subdivision surface modifier, and also I think we can scale it at the y-axis a little bit. Then delete this part, so we are going to do the mirror modifier. We can add the mirror modifier. Then we can select this face over here and then scale it at the y-axis a little bit, then extrude it out like this. And now I am basically like just going to make this ear in this shape over here. So now I'm going to smooth this part out like this, like this. Now we can add the subdivision surface modifier and then move this part out like this. So now to do this part, I'm going to extrude this part over here and enable the clipping. Then select this edge over here, then move it at the x-axis over here. And then I do not want for this part to look like this, so I will have to delete this face over here. And then we can like this, and you can select these edges over here and then circle them, scale it downward like this, Then select these edges over here, move them over here, then this part too, like this. So we can smooth this part over here by clicking relax. Also, we can select these edges and then shift E to make like it a bit sharp. So I'm going to make it 600 like this. Then select this part, move it over here, and then extrude this part out like this. So I'm going to make it tiny like this to make it cute. Then scale it at the y-axis and then relax this part again. So after that, I am going to move this part downward over here. Add a loop cut over here. Then we are going to add here a bit of geometry. So after smoothing this part out a little bit, we can start doing extruding the leg over here. So the leg should look something like this. Now I'm trying to do the tail over here, which it just doesn't show over here. So we are going to do it by ourselves. So like I am going to try to make it like the ears, like this. So I'm going to do the face over here, which are the eyes over here and the nose. But I am going to make them separate, just like I did in my Hello Kitty video. And now we can do the nose. And now my dog is done. So we can start by doing the texture. So I'm going to start by coloring the eyes, which if we look at the image, we can see that it's like this. So I am going to select this part and then move it at the y-axis like this to like just make this part flat. And then we are going to add our black material and then change the roughness to something like 0.8 and the same thing to the nose. And now for the dog, we are going to use the texture paint. So to do that, we will need image texture, which I'm going to make my own like this. Then I'm going to change the roughness to 1 because we can see that this is not a reflective object. And then we can go to the edit mode, select all and then smart UV project and then change the island margin to 0.01 like this. And then we are going to paint this white like this. And so that this part is black, we can just press X to swap, and then we are going to paint this part black. And it's no problem if this happens, because we can change it by pressing X and then coloring these parts white. So as we can see, this part is white, so we are going to do exactly that on that. But firstly, I am going to change here the black parts to white. And also we have this part. And also I'm going to make the tail black. And also we can paint the right leg black, like this. And there you have it. So we've come to the end of another lesson, which is the end of part 1, which the part 2 would come soon. Friends, your likes and comments are really important, especially the subscribe, which would make me really happy. So, see you guys in the next video. Bye!